through this.
When you talk to an AI, are you giving it a command or starting a conversation? The difference can decide whether it helps you or hallucinates. Today we're talking about how speaking AI is quickly becoming an important public safety skill set, and why understanding this new language may be as vital as knowing radio codes or CAD syntax. And that's coming up next on TiPS, Today in Public Safety.
Welcome to TiPS, Today in Public Safety, your go-to podcast for today's breaking stories and public safety news. Here's your host, Fletch, with today's tips.
Welcome to TiPS, Today in Public Safety. This is Fletch. I'm a NENA certified ENP, and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I bring you the latest, most informative, and sometimes controversial takes on emergency communications. Today we're taking a deep dive into the question that's both funny and a little unnerving. Do you speak AI? The new language of public safety. For decades now, we've trained dispatchers and call takers to ask the right questions, to stay calm, control the call, and extract critical information from chaos. But what happens when the voice on the other side isn't human? Talking to AI requires precision, context, and clarity. The same skills that define effective 911 communication. Only now you're not pulling information from a caller. You're programming understanding into a machine. You see, AI doesn't understand emotion. It doesn't infer urgency. AI parses structure. If you ask vague or biased questions, you're going to get a vague or biased answer. So learning to speak AI means learning a structured form of curiosity. One that teaches the model exactly what you need without assuming that it already knows. Prompting, the new professional literacy. Prompts aren't magic words. They're actually a digital protocol. Just like structured interrogation guides a dispatcher, structured prompting guides an AI. Both rely on three specific things: context, control, and constraints. Here's a couple of examples. First, a weak prompt. Tell me about 911 interoperability. And now the strong version of that same prompt. Summarize NENA i3 interoperability challenges for PSAPs that are migrating to next generation 911. Focus on data exchange, vendor certification, and testing. In both cases, you're going to get an answer, but only one respects the operational need for accuracy. Can you guess which? So you can see AI prompting is becoming a professional skill and not just a parlor trick. And for those of us in public safety, it's one that can save time, prevent confusion, and improve policy outcomes. The pitfalls: bias, hallucination, and false authority. Here's the hard truth. AI can be overconfident, underinformed, and utterly convincing. The biggest risks come from things like confirmation bias, when AI mirrors what you expect to hear. Data bias, when training data underrepresents rural or under-resourced PSAPs. Context drift. This is when the model gradually loses focus, mainly in a long session. And false authority, when tone and polish disguise inaccuracy. Every dispatcher out there has heard a caller sound certain and still be totally wrong. Well, AI is no different. It speaks with confidence, not certainty. So you need to remember that AI is a tool and not a teammate. While it can enhance your insight, it can never replace your validation. Why speaking with AI matters to public safety. As next generation 911 evolves, AI will play a larger role. From summarizing calls and generating EIDOs to predicting resource allocation or suggesting routing decisions. Tomorrow's PSAPs won't just need technical infrastructure, they're going to need AI-literate professionals who know how to do things like spot hallucinations, structure prompts for decision support, train the model with verified data, and keep humans firmly in the loop. Speaking AI is just the next step in operational literacy, a hybrid of communications discipline and digital fluency. You can't just use AI. You need to speak it. And like any new language, fluency comes with practice, curiosity, and a healthy respect for your accent. That wraps up today's episode of TiPS, Today in Public Safety. Thanks so much for listening. I really hope you learned something new. For more updates and insights, remember to follow me on social media at Fletch911 and visit 911tips.com for a complete archive of all of our previous episodes. Be sure to check out my blogs, which are available at Fletch.tv, and my professional website is at Fletch911.com. Stay safe and stay curious, and if you're in public safety, thanks for what you do every single day. And if you're going to talk to AI, make sure it's actually listening.
You've been listening to TiPS, Today in Public Safety, your go-to podcast for today's breaking stories and public safety news. Hosted by Fletch and available every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on 911tips.com. That's 911tips.com. Be sure to like and subscribe, and remember to join us each week for the latest on NG911. I am Spider Harrison, the official 911 voiceover dude. Catch me on Sirius XM on various channels, including 90s on